The financial news for Friday, April 14th is one not to be missed. We have big bank earnings, retail sales, consumer sentiment, and now we know with certainty what interest rate really sparks high consumer demand for housing. So let's get into it, folks. Friday, earnings kicked off with the one and only big bank, JP Morgan. JP Morgan posted record revenue, topped expectations on higher net interest income. If you don't know what net interest income, it is essentially a bank like JP Morgan doing nothing. Yes, folks, they basically take in your deposits, pay you very little. Then they take those deposits over to the Fed window or Fed facility for overnight lending, and they make bank. Yes, you are going to see the big banks really profit from this. I suspect all of them will be reporting record net interest margin. This is not a sign of health, in my opinion. This is a sign of the interest rate environment we are in. But again, this is JP Morgan, beat top, beat bottom line. Consumers are still spending with strong balance sheets. Total deposits were down 7%, and they also raised loan loss reserves by $1.1 billion. Again, we were looking for a lot of different variables. We were looking for loan loss reserves. We know that, another billion. We were looking for net interest margin. It was a whopper at 20.8 billion, up 50%. Would they say anything about consumers and what is going on with lending? Citigroup also beat top, beat bottom, again on rising net interest margin. Deposits there were down 3% month on month. Wells Fargo, the trend continues, beat top, beat bottom. Net interest up to $5 billion. They did set aside $1.2 billion for loan loss reserves. BlackRock matched top line, aka revenue, but beat on the bottom line. Let's switch over to retail sales. Retail sales previously were down 0.2%. Expectations were to be down or negative 0.4%, and they came in at negative 1%. So the headline reading was down negative 1%. X autos, again, autos make up a big portion of this. They were down negative 0.8 on an estimate of negative 0.4. So another miss to the downside. If you go X auto, X gas, expectations were to be down negative 6, but they were only down negative 3. So still down, but not quite as much. So a lot of it seemed to be energy or gas related. But again, retail sales were down. Headline number 1%. Is the consumer breaking? Are they conserving? What are they doing? On top of that, we did get a consumer sentiment expectation report, which included an expectation for inflation in 1 year. And folks, it's not good. Consumer expectations for inflation is important because it drives consumer behavior. We went into this report with consumer expectations at 3.7%. They are now 4.6%, so almost a full percent higher. I don't know about you. Maybe it's a California thing, but gas is up quite significantly. And if you don't know, gas is one of those things that goes right to the bottom line. You and I see it when we fill up our cars, and it really can have an impact on consumer psychology. So we got a report from John Burns Real Estate Consulting. Folks, if you are not following John Burns Real Estate Consulting on Twitter, do yourself a favor, do that today. Let them know you came from One Rental at a Time, as I've loved having them on the show. Rick Palacios has been on the show a couple of times, and they do great work at John Burns Real Estate Consulting. Looks like they did a survey of home buyers to figure out what interest rate would unlock demand. If you've been following this channel for any length of time, you know that we see at least marginal demand increased at 6%. According to John Burns Real Estate Consulting, 71% of home buyers want 5.5%. 5.5%. You may have heard me say over the last 6 weeks a couple of times that I believe the worst interest rate for today's housing market would be 5.5%. It is wonderful to hear that John Burns research validates my opinion. The reason I have that opinion is we're in the market every day. We talk to experts every week, and they are telling us the consumer behavior changes at 6, at least on the demand side. So if we go down to 5.5, a lot of demand will come off. And of course, if you've been watching this channel, it does nothing to unlock supply. So 5.5% mortgage rate is the worst outcome. I do fear as we head through, the rest of the year, we could see 5.5% interest by the end of the year. Many people are already, frankly, getting 5.5 with points. And builders, folks, we don't understand just the unique situation that builders are in. Builders have the financial flexibility to, instead of discounting price, they can do rate buy downs. They can use mortgage flexibility to get that home buyer to 5.5%. I think I saw, it might have been Pulte, it might have been Lennar, actually offering up 4.99% in some of their communities. So again, home builders are going to win in this environment, right? If they understand that the buyer wants 5.5, poof, they can get 5.5. So it's very, very interesting. Did you know, this is a quiz. Let me hear from you below. I would love you to pause the video and give me an answer to the following questions. What is the average 30-year interest rate going back to 1971? So we're talking 52 years. What do you think the average 30-year mortgage rate is? Now, of course, that includes the low lows of the 2s and 3s, but also the high 18, 19 of the early 80s. So go ahead and take a guess. I'll give you a few seconds, and then I will give you the answer. So the answer, according to John Burns Real Estate Consulting, is 7.75%. It's actually a little bit higher than I would have guessed. I would have guessed something in the mid-6s. But yes, apparently, but going back to 1971, the average is 7.75%. What we're going to be looking at this week, again, this is the report for Friday the 14th, is where are the regional banks. We will get more on that during the week. There's plenty of regional, or kind of that next tier down from the behemoth to too big to fail. Will be very interesting to see. Wells Fargo did do some deep analysis of their portfolio, which I thought was interesting. I wish more banks did this. Wells Fargo's office market pain. Apparently, Wells Fargo has about 4% of their loans out in the office market. It's about $35 billion. And of course, they're looking to see what they can do to reduce that risk, as the U.S. vacancy for office is estimated to be as high as 20%. A couple other details we got that I'll share with you for this Friday the 14th is Realtor.com. Says active inventory is up 44% year on year, but new listings, down 32%. This data is from Friday. Sacramento, got this from Ryan Lundquist. 67% of the pendings in Sacramento had multiple offers. I suspect that has a lot to do with California Dream, but I could be wrong. That's what I got. Yep, that's what I got for this Friday the 14th. I will have to say, if you missed the ladies' legend event on Sunday, you missed out. It was a treat to hear from Casey, April, Alicia, and of course, Anna. It was better than expected. I mean, we heard from a family who made the choice to leave Southern California to a market they had never been in, didn't know anyone. They made it work for their family, so Casey could stay home. She also obviously started doing some crafts to buy her rentals. April Crosley, I don't know if you know this, but she was a teenage mom on welfare. She had her son at 16. So to see her go from a teenage mom on welfare to what she has become today was amazing. And of course, if you don't know April, you are missing out. April, Lazy Girl REI, is amazing. She's no nonsense and fun. Then we have Alicia. Alicia bought her first flip at 18. The flip took 2 years, and she almost made $100,000. To see where Alicia has gone from flipping to now a business built around systems and process over 13 years is amazing. And of course, the one and only Anna Kelly, who took the session from a hospital room. Yes, folks, send a note to Anna. She had an unfortunate injury to her ankle that actually required surgery. So send her a note, but she was gracious enough to do it from the hospital room, where we heard about house hacking a fourplex, doing one rental at a time, why she chose to do high-end Airbnb, talked about that personal story, and of course, what she is doing now. So if you missed that, you missed out. I will tell you that I have another event this Sunday for only 100 people. Yes, folks, only 100 people can come. It is going to be with real estate agents or legends. A lot of you say you are working with real estate agents, or maybe you are frustrated you're not getting their attention. This event for you. Maybe you're in the real estate industry and you're looking how to add other income streams or grow your business, or heck, become a hybrid agent. This is for you. We're going to bring out Beth Traverso, who is our Tuesday guest, who is a top 1% agent in the country. You're going to get an hour of her time. You're then going to get Jason Pritchard, the best investor in all of Fresno, talk about going from a W-2 job to an agent, to running teams, to running a big business. And then, of course, you're going to get TYLG, who's our Friday expert with the weekly wrap-up and hub member, to talk about what it was like in the late 80s and 90s when creative financing really cut its teeth. So if you haven't signed up for that event, why not? It's $47. I can tell you, all of you missed an amazing Legends of Real Estate yesterday. But yeah, you do have an opportunity. There are some spots available. Sign up now. If you sign up and can't make it, you will get access to the video, because I will record it and share it with you once it is cut up and released. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Like, subscribe, comment. Have a great day.